What's up? Family, check this out. Ladies, I know we're not gonna like it. I know. Just real quick for the video, just trust the process. That was high risk, high reward. Ford Pinto wagon. It's got the 302. Do believe it is a new motor. It's got a real Scottish interior, eh? Kind of like an Irish jig in there. I like it. Nice full seats that got redone. Jared's working on a Buick Skylark.
Yep.
He's doing the water pump. And is that the only thing this thing needs?
As far as I know, yes.
Wow. So with the Buick Skylark, it's not usually what we do. To fill in between the restorations, we obviously accept these cars in as needed. That's why we handed that to Jared, because he is... Now, is it a professional or is it an amateur professional? Professional amateur. Professional amateur Jared. Why? How did you get that name, professional amateur? Like, what does that mean? How'd you put that to words?
I learned all my stuff hands-on. I didn't go to school for any of it. I just learned it as I went.
That's the school of hard knocks.
Yes, definitely.
That earns the title right there. So we got the Monte Carlo. This is a 76. We put custom T-tops in. Todd Auto did a lot of this fabrication work, cut into this material right here, cut all the way around. Had to do some trimming on the headliner in here. We'll have a full video on this with Todd explaining how he did it, but it is done, which is very exciting. It looks really good. The customer is extremely happy. We are gonna do a light buff and polish on it. Iconically, these Monte Carlo doors have a hard time closing. I'm just gonna move on. This is a, I believe, 79 Z28 Camaro. It's getting an LS swap, full restoration. The interior's got Pontiac GTO leather seats, and we got a big customer. He's a little taller, so we might have to adjust the steering wheel. So we got the 65 Mustang with the 289. Again, standard restoration. That's finding its way to leaving the shop here ideally this winter. It's just ready for the interior put in, a little bit of testing on the engine and, you know, brakes and new components we put in. Maybe we will sneak some Hush Mat in this one too. Hush Mat USA, if you don't know, you do now. This is a beast. 1968 Dodge Dart. Check this out. So we had a local 3D print shop print out these custom seatbelt brackets. The seatbelt attaches right here, but nobody likes that aesthetic. It's kind of like an eyesore. We had this person come in and 3D print a mold that's gonna sit over top of this, and we're gonna paint it so that you can't see it. Like, it'll be this shiny orange and not a matte orange like this. We tried something new. I think we're pretty happy with it. My favorite thing, besides these beautiful rims, is the iconic 392 Hemi.
Golly.
Dude, what would you do with all that motor? I could tell you what I would do. I'd be sideways. Getting tickets in the road. And then when the officer goes, "What happened?" I'm gonna say, "Pop the hood, sir. Pop the hood." And he'll go, "I get it.
Stop the cap."
It makes sense." And I'll say, "Now we're on the same page. Take care, sir. You are free to go." Oh, Blaziken, how do you feel about me turning this down real quick for like 10 minutes to walk around with the mic? Thank you. Hey. So we got the 1974 Hellcat Swap Challenger in the booth. Looks like it's ready for primer. So we got it out of the fabrication stage. As you can see, this thing's just looking straight, beautiful, beastie. And the firewall is smoothed out, so it's gonna have that resto mod, vintage modern look. This is the transmission tunnel that we need to weld in, but we had to cut out space for it to fit this bigger transmission tunnel, or create a bigger transmission tunnel for the bigger transmission because it is a Hellcat. And the 74 Challenger did not come with that big of a motor and transmission. What I like about this is just that Dodge, Mopar, Plymouth, Cuda front end where you have this, it's kind of like a Mustang front end, but it just looks meaner, more aggressive. When I see this coming down the road, if this had the demon halo lights that you see in the modern day Charger and Challengers, I think this thing would be scary. Basically the body panel right after primer, it's got a nice texture to it, and it looks like fresh snow in my eyes. So this is our Impala we're working on. This is a accident job, kind of been a Frankenstein of an event, but it's coming together. We got skilled craftsmen that are working on it. And
Well, these are some seatbelt covers for the Dodge Dart. They're 3D printed and we primed over them. Then we're going to paint them. I'm just sanding it a little bit because there's some lines from the 3D printer still. We got to get those filled and looking all smooth. Yep, but I'm almost done sanding.
what's up, Donnie? Another day. What are you working on, Chevelle? The doors? Nice. Is this the final primer? It looks different. It looks not as thick. This is for all the people at home who can't do this. Just take a second to watch this. This is the best moment about working on cars, just up close and personal. So yeah, this is the 1970 Chevelle SS. It's getting a big 502 motor, full restoration, going to World of Wheels in Texas and the Good Guy Car Show in wherever that's at. Shouts out. This is gold. What up, fellas? I just spawn in for a few seconds and then leave again. What is going on? What do you think of this thing?
Better one out there. This is really rough.
It is. It's a
It's a
project.
it is. But definitely that.
It's like even the stuff in here. Do you have to cut this off and get in there and then re-weld that? Dang. So you said it wasn't restored right, or what they were doing was wrong. What were they doing? Oh, they wrecked it. Yeah, what do you even have to work with? You have to sandblast. Oh, well, I guess you can sandblast it. This is what we don't like, folk. Look at that. That's thick on there. Well, this thing's gonna look like the Tempest when it's done.
Boy, if you don't...
You think it'll be done next year? Hopefully. Can I turn on this light? So what Mike was saying is, if you take a look at everything on the inside, there's not much to work with. The dash, every component inside the dash looks super rusty. The firewall, the support, the harnesses, I mean, everything about this is just rusted out basically to the max. So we'll see after sandblasting what's really left and what we have to work with. I mean, this thing might just be the silly X-frame underneath it by the time we're done. This is what we do. This is what we specialize in. We can restore anything and make your dream ride happen. So real quick, this is the 1968 Jaguar E-Type. Mike has been doing quite the job on pretty much everything to do with the front end. Let's just say when it first got here, it was not pretty. It felt like putting your hand on a bunch of rocks beforehand, so it's pretty exciting. It's on hold for a second. The customer is on vacation. When he gets back, we're gonna keep working on it. So I referenced a Tempest earlier. This is the 65 Tempest and or GTO, just depending on how you look at the model. And as you can see, Megan, if you show them the inside here, it's not much to work with. Everything pretty much got removed, and yeah, high five, boom. Very rarely do we get a nice shell to work with, which complements our skill. It just adds to the time it takes and the craftsmanship it takes to complete these. I mean, if you take a look at this, it doesn't have a quarter panel. And there's Todd Auto. Woo woo! I had a quick question. What's going on with this?
Bruh.
So then, yeah, we'll end up just cutting it out like we did the RT Coronet. And we can jump over there in a second. I can explain that. But this is part of our process and how we do things. So I'll show you guys. Clint, or whoever did it, took a plasma cutter, cut this, and what he did is he saves the spot welds on the metal so that you can slowly start to peel everything apart. And then when it comes time to putting in the new quarter panel, you know, all your spot welds are peeled back and you get to just kind of lay it in there and weld right in. This is our method on restoring things carefully. And so this is the aftermath. It goes from that to this, and as you can see, it's got the plasma cutter lines. Clint just went a little bit further and started to remove right here. If you take a look, this is where it would have spot welded onto the 68 coronet, and Clint came in here and removed it, and that's what that plasma cutter did. It cut off this line right here. And so yeah, this is our 1968 RT coronet. It's a full restoration going back to that aquamarine color. Clint Chapman has been the one that has done a lot of the fabrication work on this. Obviously, if you know Clint, you know he does an amazing job. Everything is looking pretty much back to shiny. I know we have to seal this metal with an epoxy. Clint, are you a painter today?
Finger painting.
Finger painter?
Yeah.
So, that's our shop update. Thank you for watching. Stay blessed. Take care.